Hey, what's up, Facebook Live? How are you doing? I'm excited. It's Monday. Yes, some people say it's money making Monday. Some say it's marketing Mondays. Some just say it's just good. Thank God it's Monday, right? But what I want to share, those who are just hopping on, we're talking about releasing the beast. I shared this briefly on Periscope, kind of flip-flopping between both platforms to see which one I like best. But releasing the beast. Some of us are holding our own stuff hostage. Releasing the beast, releasing the beast, hashtag release the beast. Heart it up if you're here. Thank you so much for those who joined. This is Lucinda Cross, your chief activator, master coach. Yeah, so let's talk about this thing called release the beast. I want you to move freely this week. Move free. You know, my whole thing is, my whole brand is about helping people live a life of fire, fun, and freedom. Fire, fun, and freedom. Yes, thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the love. So what I'm talking about today, this evening, is releasing the beast. And I truly believe that some of us are holding our stuff hostage because of something that has happened in the past. What has happened in the past? Who did it? Who did it? Who did it to you that you're not letting this thing go, that you're just holding on so tight? Who did it? Who did it that you can't let this thing go? Who did it? Come on now, who did it? Somebody has done it to you that you are so fearful now, that you are overprotective of your stuff, of your vision, of what you need to do. You're so overprotective because somebody did it. Who did it, baby? Tell me who did it. And we're gonna get God after them though. But in all seriousness, what I want us to stop doing is holding on to our stuff and holding our stuff hostage because we're fearful of what's going on out there. Out there meaning with other visionaries, with other business owners, with other, it can get very scary when you have to release your vision. And I was talking about the importance of loosening up your grip. Some of us have such a tight grip. We need to loosen up that grip. That grip is preventing you from walking it out and walking into it. Do you believe that? Do you believe that your grip is preventing you from walking it out and even walking in to your next season, your next level? Because I want you to loosen the grip. I don't know who did it. I don't know how long ago they did it to you. I don't know why they did it. We're not here to figure it out. But what I want you to finally do today is to say, I'm going to loosen my grip on this thing. I'm not going to hold this thing so tight that it can't grow. I want you to let it go. Loosen it up just a little bit so that you could walk. And I shared in Periscope that one of the greatest accomplishments for me when I had all three of my children was not the fact that they said mom or dad or mama or dad. It was the moment they decided to walk. When they made up in their minds that they are going to get up off the floor from crawling, scooting. My youngest son, he'll be 6 this week. He used to scoot with one leg, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with him. But the greatest moment for me as a mother who birthed children into this world was to see my children walk, to see them get up, loosen their grip from the wall, loosen their grip from my hand. And it was scary for both of us. Loosen the grip from holding on to the furniture from one piece to the next. But for them to actually release so that they can walk on their own. And some of us, I understand you have tried this thing called vision and entrepreneurship, and walking it out was not the easiest thing for you. You have fell down so many times. You done fell, rolled over. Sometimes you even felt like you was crawling and forgot how to walk, period. You forgot why you was even in this whole entrepreneurial thing in the first place. But what I'm telling you is because you are holding on so tight, you're not able to walk in that next phase of blessing. You're not able to walk in that next phase of creativity. You're not able to walk into that next phase of meeting new people because you are holding on and you have such a tight grip because you're fearful based on what has happened in the past. And I don't care what has happened in the past. We got to learn to let go. And eventually you're going to have to trust God. Because some of us, we can't even trust ourselves. I'm going to tell you the truth. I can't even trust myself. Half the time I'm ready to say, oh man, you sure you want me to do a conference? You got to be kidding me. So I got to trust God along the way in the process. And that means that I had to loosen my grip so that I can learn to walk, that I could learn to run. And then you get fancy with it and you leap. Then you get fancy with it and you learn to skip. And then before you know it, you're just soaring. And it's like you skating from one blessing to the next blessing. But if you are not willing to let it go, hashtag release the beast. I need you to release the beast. The beast is that thing you're holding on to it so tight because you're afraid of what is out there that could happen, may happen, might happen. Some of us are not releasing because of the mights. We don't operate on the mights. We can't operate on the mights. What might happen? What happened in the past? We got to let that go. Release the beast. Hashtag release the beast. In order to fully walk into this thing or walk it out, you have to release. Your grip is so tight that you're not even allowing anybody to put anything in. Your grip may be so tight that you are, when your grip is tight. Let's go through that. When your grip is tight, when you look at something that somebody else is doing, and then it's in alignment with what you want to do, and you say, you know what, dang, I can't even do it no more because so-and-so did it. That's when you know you got a tight grip. When you are able to watch somebody, there is over 7 billion people on this earth. Do you think just because we got to expand our world, release the beast? If that beast is telling you lies, expand your world. Your world is bigger than North Carolina. Your world is bigger than New York City. Your world is bigger than DC. Your world is bigger than North Dakota, wherever you're from. So you have to let this thing go, because we'll be so hung up on the people that we are immediately connected to on your timeline and in your feed that you forget that there is a portion of the world for you to support. So you'll say, oh, so-and-so is doing this. I'm not going to do it because it's going to look like I'm a copycat. That means you need to release the beast. Your grip is too tight. That means that you have not expanded your mindset and your world. You are still in this boxed up world believing that because so-and-so is doing it in North Carolina, you can't do it in New York City. Lies, lies, lies. Release the beast. Your mind, it's not even so much, people say, well, you got to think big. You got to think big. I need you to just get out of the world, period. Can we just go to a whole new dimension? Because I think some of us are focused on the 50 states and we forget that there's continents and other countries, and we have to, so that your grip is too tight. When you can watch somebody else soar and really question your own movements. There could never be enough motivational speakers. There could never be enough pastors and preachers. There could never be enough books about overcoming domestic violence. There could never be, check this out, enough vision board parties in this world. I think everybody in the world needs to do a vision board party. I don't care if you call yourself the vision board queen, princess, guru, master. There could never be enough people who finally decide to help others click and get it. Now, if we're moving in integrity and in authenticity, stop worrying about what's happening in another state. If you could fly to another, and you worried about an airplane ride of what somebody else is doing, an airplane ride away, you need to release the beast and let it go. So there's not enough women doing tours. There's not enough sisterhood groups. There's not enough nonprofit organizations that are helping people when they come out of prison. There's not enough diaper programs who's helping to raise diapers for children. So you mean to tell me you're not going to do your fundraiser for diapers because somebody else is doing it? 3 plane rides, a plane ride and a connection away? Come on, I don't care. There's some people who need help and they are only assigned to you. So you have to release the beast. Let it go. Release that grip. Another sign that you could tell if you are holding on to a grip and your grip is too tight is if you are super creative, but the bottom, if you're super creative and you're doing nothing. That's when because you're not letting enough stuff go. When you are super creative and you are dishing things out and your creativity is hitting the streets and your creativity is hitting the web and your creativity is hitting the stages and your creativity is hitting online, you are allowing yourself to be filled back up for some more. But if you still have so much creativity that you are in poverty, passionately poor, or passionately profitable, y'all heard me say that before. It's a big difference. So if you are holding a tight grip, that means let some things go. Let it go. What are you holding on to the information for? What are you holding on to the creativity for? You afraid somebody's going to say you got shiny object syndrome? So what? You afraid somebody? That's called passive income, baby. In the new millennium, shiny object syndrome is no more. It's called passive income. It's called get it how you need to get it, because other people don't want you to get nothing. How about that? So we got to change the whole mindset. So you know that you're holding on to a grip. One, if you are watching, if you are able to identify what somebody else is doing and you have the nerve to say that you're not going to do it because they're doing it, because they're on your timeline, release the beast and go do what you need to do. The second thing, if you holding a tight grip and you need to let it go, is if you're sitting there on so much creativity, but there's no productivity. There's no productivity. There's no producing. The third thing, how you know that you need to release the beast is if you still holding on to your idea, and that idea is about 5 years old now. It's about 5 years old. And you still holding on to it. You have to learn the art of imperfection. The art of imperfection means that I'm going to put it out there and let God do what he do. The art of imperfection is saying I'm going to do my best, put my best foot forward. I'm not going to procrastinate on this thing. I'm not going to sit there and wait for perfectionism to seep in. I'm going to put it out there. So those are three things that if you know that you're dealing with right now, you know you have a tight grip. And it may be preventing you from what? Walking into something or walking it out. I'm ready to walk in and walk out. Don't you want to walk in and walk out? Isn't that a sweet thing when you can walk in and walk out? Guess what some of us are doing? We walking in and we just having a seat. Ain't nobody asked you to walk in and have a seat. Walk in, get what you need to get, and walk out. Walk in, grab your blessing, and keep it moving. Some of us are just sitting there too long to talk about and then walk it out. Some of us was walking it out and we ain't even walk in yet. You done missed the connections, the network, because you feel like everybody. I don't care if it's a million life coaches. There could never be enough people who want to help others get their life together. I don't care if there's a million branders, a million marketers. I don't care if there's a million sales coaches. Like I said, there is not enough public speakers out there. There's over 7 billion people on this earth. I truly believe each person deserves a team. And that includes you, and you, plus you with the hearts, you that just gave me the thumbs up. That includes all of you. So if each of them deserves a team, that means that you are the provision for somebody else's vision. So while you're praying for provision, your provision may be in South Africa at Oprah Winfrey's Leadership School, but you sitting up here stunting on what's going on in somebody's backyard in Detroit. And you trying to cut her out the deal. Guess what? There's a 6-figure deal for you right now at the Leadership Academy. Did somebody send her a proposal? Did somebody knock on some of those doors to see what's going on with some of these initiatives that these sponsors have? So we just have to really have this global mindset. And that global mindset means that you have to do what? # release the beast. That beast is that thing that you were holding on to because you are afraid that somebody may take it. You're afraid because somebody used it before. You're afraid because, I don't know if who would care about what I have to say or is this of any value? You have to let it go, baby. You do. You got to let it go. Point blank. Period. You got to let it go at some point. And I'm going to close out with this. And I shared this. Hold on. Let me see what's going on with this car. Get some air in here. Hold on. Your girl's hot. But I shared this on Periscope. My daughter shared that she watched this movie called, I think it's called The Huntsman or something. But in the movie, they had these two sisters. And I'm going somewhere. Stay with me. Stay with me. Don't leave. Keep the hearts going. Let me know that you're here. I promise you it's going to take about 2 more minutes of your time. So she watched this movie called The Huntsman. She was just sharing this with me last night. And she was sharing that it was two sisters. And the two sisters, one sister was very vain. She would always stay in the mirror. Looks were her thing. Looks were her thing. The other sister, she was having a family. She had a daughter. So what happened is when the other sister who was vain, who went to the mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall, I think it's called The Huntsman, the mirror told her, guess what? When your sister's daughter's born, you know, she's going to be the fairest of them all. Right? I'm going somewhere with this, so stick with me. So the sister decided to kill her sister's daughter, baby, because she wanted to be the one. You see what I'm saying? So when you are holding a grip, we're going to go back to the story. When you holding a grip, you are killing off somebody's visions and somebody else's dreams because you don't want to put it out there. Because you think it's too much life coaches or too many speakers or everybody's doing a tour. So what? So what? They can't possibly take over the world. They can't. So why don't you get a piece of the action? Go get you some. Go get some. They did it, so can you. Yeah, just like that. So she killed off her sister's baby because she wanted to be the fairest of them all. So don't hold on to the vision and the dream and the book and the idea and the business and the concept and the tour because you're afraid somebody else, you know, because you're afraid to release it, you know, for whatever reason. And therefore you killing off your own vision and their dream. You holding yourself hostage from success. You wonder why you still seeing the same things. I'll be honest with me. When I started my business, I'm like, why is my years looking the same? I know I'm getting older. I know the date changed, but why the situation still looked the same? Because I was holding on to stuff. I was holding my vision hostage for whatever reason. So let's go back to the story that my daughter was telling me with the two princesses. So the princess that had the baby that was killed by her sister, she was crushed, heartbroken, torn. Now I'm going to watch the movie today, and I'm going to give you a thorough breakdown tomorrow because, you know, I relate everything to business and life. So the other sister, she was so upset. She ran off. She secluded herself, right? She put herself in seclusion. How many of us did that? Put ourselves in seclusion. Oh, we hurt. So we want to seclude ourselves. Oh, somebody did us wrong. Broken promises. We ashamed. So we are secluding ourselves. Somebody hurt us so bad. Who did it, baby? Let them go. Release the beast. So the sister secluded herself. But guess what she started to do? She went out to the village to take other people's babies and raise them, so-called protecting them from the evil. But she was training these children to fight. As she's training these children to fight, she also was teaching them to have a hard heart. So what do you think is happening because you're not stepping out and you have such a tight grip? Your heart the heart of the passion, the reason why you got into this in the first place begins to harden. And when your reason why you got into this in the first place starts to harden, you don't even like the business that you got into in the first place. You don't even like the purpose that you in. Some of you may even begin to question, am I doing? Come on. And so now she went out to the village to grab other people's babies. Are we not going out there to do that? Let me go grab her network. Let me grab it and hold on to it. And some people even turn your own folks against you. But guess what? We got to let it go. There is not enough people doing the same thing on this earth. And I know you heard this saying, there's nothing new underneath the sun. It's nothing new. I've never seen a pine tree fight with another pine tree and say, oh, so you chosen for Christmas, huh? Oh, so you just going to be sitting up in somebody's house in the suburbs. No, it doesn't work like that. So naturally, we're supposed to go out there and produce freely and release. and let your roots sprout and grow and allow yourself to be used. Allow yourself to allow people to pick the right pieces. You don't want anybody picking any rotten apples off of you because you are harboring on to so much stuff and holding on to your own stuff that you're holding your vision hostage. So back to the movie, she was taking the people's children, teaching them to fight, to have a hard heart, because she didn't want them to get hurt the way she got hurt. That's why you need to release the beast, because there is something for you. There is something for someone else. But if they come in contact with you and they begin to have a hardened heart or they're not fully embracing and stepping into who they need to be because you're not fully stepping into who you need to be, that's a problem. It really is. So now you can either create a nation of faith walkers or fear walkers. It's either one. Either one. So what I want you to do is release the beast is the hashtag for today. And the overall part of this message is for you to understand, just like those two princesses, we don't want to allow what somebody did to us in the past that we are holding on, and we got a grip so tight that we're holding our own selves hostage. Some people are being held hostage in their own homes right now. Right now, you're holding yourself hostage because you're fearful of what may happen when you go out. You're fearful of what may happen if you say yes to writing that book. You're fearful if people hear your story and hear the fact that you was on drugs, or you was a prostitute, or you have HIV, or why? There is not enough people speaking their truth and standing in their power. I tell you that right now. And you know how I know? Because every time I get on the stage and I get off, they say, oh my gosh, you're saying things people want to say. You're just so authentic and so real. How did you get to this place where you could just be, open up? And it's like, what do you mean? Where I could just be me? I don't need to carry a facade no more. I realized that my facade is not the thing that increases my finances. I had to realize that my facade and holding a grip wasn't the thing that was going to keep me happy and intimate. I had to realize that my facade wasn't going to allow God to use me the way he needed to use me, because it was too many layers of ish going on. Not enough shifts, but a lot of shit. I'm a curse right now. Not enough shifts, but it was a lot of shit going on. And excuse me if you offended, but it was a lot of not enough shifts, but a lot of the other stuff, a lot of the poops. So, what I want us to do is release the beast. Are you with me? Are you with me on that? Are you willing to release that thing that you're holding on to? Are you willing to let go of that grip so that you can walk into it and walk it out? Are you willing to say, you know what? Let me try this one more time. Let me try love one more time. Let me try this business thing one more time. Let me just try this one more time. Let me give it a shot. Let me just, maybe if I let go of the handles and the furniture, maybe I could walk on my own. Let me see this. Let me see if this vision could really take me places that I could never think or imagine. Yeah? It's not your job to prove yourself wrong. It's your job to prove God right. So stop trying to find a reason to prove it wrong. Some of us, we self-sabotage to the point that we'll prove ourselves wrong in a hot second. I knew it wouldn't work. No, it's okay. Let it go. Stop gathering the children in the village. Stop and holding on and harboring on to them. You know what the children in the village represent for us, visionaries, believers, and business owners? The children in the village represent the free visions that are roaming around. Stop gathering them up and holding on to them and doing absolutely nothing about it. Yeah. Stop gathering up the things that you could see as possibilities. Those children in the village is possibilities. So the children in your village is the possibilities that you see that maybe your children are birthing out right now. Maybe your spouse is birthing out right now. Maybe you just need to be in a season of supporting another sister. Come on now, sisterhood still exists. If you haven't read my Huffington Post, go check it out. But sisterhood still exists. Maybe it's your season just to support another sister who's carrying a vision. How sweet is that to be the midwife? All right. Well, this is your captain speaking. I love you. And I'll see you next time, okay? All right, bye. It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Let me go up in this bank. Hey.